You're watching Life on Video. What's up, everybody? Today I'm coming to you from Black River in Arizona, northern Arizona. So this place is located roughly, I guess you would still consider it Alpine, but once you get into Alpine, it's still about an hour drive to Black River. And it is like 50 degrees outside right now. It's about 5 a.m. and I'm freezing. I mean, I got pants and a jacket on, but I am a little spoiled from living in Tucson, where it's constantly like 90 degrees, even in the winter, to 100 plus degrees in the summer. So let me give you a quick view of where we're at right now. As you can imagine, I didn't come alone. I am here with my wife, all three of my children, mother-in-law, father-in-law, brother-in-law, and my brother-in-law's lady friend. So you may wonder, why I drive 5 hours north to go camping. Well, it's 2020, and this is about one of the most isolated events that you can actually do without coming in contact with strangers. And this is what we feel is safest for us and our family. So we came up here, plus we're going to fish. We fished yesterday, and we didn't catch anything, meaning me and my kids, but my father-in-law caught a fish. Mother-in-law caught 2 or 3 fish earlier in the morning before we got here. So there are fish in this river. We plan on doing a lot more fishing today as well. When we come up to a clearing here, I'll show you the river. Now, I'm from Ohio, so rivers to me are typically huge, deep. This, in my opinion, is more like what we would call a creek, but here in Arizona, it's about the best thing you're gonna get when it comes to a quote river. So I'll show you down here real quick. Quick facts about the Black River. In 2009, this was home to one of the largest, if not the largest, wildfire in Arizona. And you can see as I show these trees around here, they're still scorched, scored, and marked from the fire, but things are recovering nicely. Now, with that being said, it is dry season here in Arizona, so we can't do like campfires. So that's kind of unfortunate because campfires are a huge part of camping, and they're kind of off limits right now. So it's fine. I mean, we'll follow the rules and we won't do it. My in-laws have a propane camping grill that they brought with them, so that's what we've been using to cook, and it works really good. Now, we are camping very low tech when it comes to living situations. We literally have a tent, 2 air mattresses, and some sleeping bags. My in-laws, they have a nice Winnebago pullback camper that they have they've recently purchased in the past year, and they brought it. So there are some bunk beds in there. So Braxton and Brayson are actually sleeping with them, and Braylon will be sleeping with us. Now, I'm a softie right now because it is like 50 degrees and I am absolutely freezing. I did not bring much warm gear, and I think last night what it was I slept well, considering the temperature, but like I'm so tall that it's hard to like get into a sleeping bag, all the way into a sleeping bag. So like I was in it, but like it comes up to my neck, and it's like my head was getting freezing cold, but I couldn't find a way to like get my head in there. So I was like crunched up all night in a sleeping bag. So I mean, it's all just my fault for not being prepped, but hey, we don't camp a lot, so what we have is what we have. But after this, we will now know that we need to get better gear for sure. Now, taking this really cold night weather into consideration, we are down here for another 1, 2, 3 nights. So that was our first of 4 nights. I may need to make that trek into town. It's an hour drive, just to pick up some more gear, because my daughter does have to sleep with us, and though she was well covered up last night, I want to make sure that she is completely taken care of. I don't want to even risk her getting cold, chilly, or anything in the middle of the night, because at that point it's just too late for us to do anything. And we would just take her inside the camper, not a big deal, but we'd have to wake everybody up. And the only reason she's not sleeping there is because she's a wild one, man, and at nighttime it takes a while to get her settled down. So when everybody else is tired and goes in and passes out, we just sit out in the tent and play with her, so until she gets tired. I know this looks terrible, but it feels amazing. Fun fact about this area is these pine trees are about 135 feet tall. And the one I showed you earlier has a completely scorched back. And it's partially missing, but it's still standing. That's one of the cool things about coming out in the wilderness is, things will survive when people leave them alone. So even with that tree being half gone at this point from the fire, it still manages to stand. And I think it's a pretty cool lesson to take away from nature. Like sometimes you just leave things alone, and it'll all be fine in the end, you know? Something that I find pretty hilarious is we may not be in Tucson, we may not be in Phoenix, but that doesn't mean we're out of the woods when it comes to rattlesnakes. They still have rattlesnakes up here in the north. I believe they're called black timber rattlesnakes. They do have these at the Desert Museum in Tucson, and it's actually a gnarly looking snake because it is a rattlesnake, but it's like solid black, and it just hides up in these trees and on the branches, and it's a really good climber. So even though we're not in Tucson or Phoenix, rattlesnakes still on the schedule. And another thing that we have to watch out for is there are black bear up here in the north, there are bighorn sheep up here in the north, and there are also deer, which aren't really a big deal. The bighorn sheep aren't really a big deal either. One thing that's nice is I do think we can forget about javelina for a while. I mean, those things are a pest. And that's basically going to do it for this video. I just wanted to check in real quick and give you guys a glimpse of what camping in northern Arizona was like. I'll be back with some more videos. Obviously we're going to do a lot of fishing, and I'll get some more drone footage for you from up here, because it's just cool, because like we are in Arizona still, but there's no desert to be seen. So yeah, that's going to do it. So stay tuned for more content here on Life One Video. Later.